Today, let's have a little fun with some poll numbers. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, this is Keith. Welcome to the Ghetto Sapien channel, your home of inner city intelligence. So let's get right down to it. Talking about the Harvard-Harris poll that came out. This one's from May, pretty recent, very interesting. Let's get down to the meat of it. Approval and mood of the country. Now, before I scroll on to this, what do you think? You think we're in a good mood? You think we're heading in the right direction? Will anything in this poll shock and surprise you? Probably not. So today, less than a third of voters say the country's on the right track. Shock. The GOP, only 14%. The Independents, 20%. And the Democrats at 55%. So the majority of Democrats think this country that's on fire, pretty much, is headed in the right direction. That is a cult if I've ever seen one. 2/3 believe the U.S. economy is headed in the wrong direction. Same numbers, 14% for the GOP, an insane 55% for the Democrats, and probably a quite reasonable 20% for the independents who say we're on the right track. The perceived strength of the U.S. economy overall remains well below 50%. Do you really need a poll to tell you that things are going pretty bad? You go to the gas station, you go to the grocery store, probably that trip altogether is going to cost you about $200, even if you don't buy meat. So this result shouldn't be surprising. We're in really bad shape. Half of the voters continue to say the personal financial situation is worsening. Again, getting worse. That's, most people may, it's bad. Bad numbers. Today, only 21% of voters believe we'll avoid a recession. We're probably in a recession now, but the way things work out, you won't know it, at least they won't admit it until months later when the numbers come in. But again, you spend like $13 for some eggs and meat is an option in your house. You don't need to wait to see these pretty graphs and these colorful numbers to tell you that stuff's effed up, that we're probably in recession. Now, this is amazing, at least to me. Biden's approval has stayed just above 40% for the past several months. Yo, that is the media and media bias. It's been known for quite some time the media has been biased in favor of Democrats. This is back in 2004. This is a quote by Evan Thomas. He's a journalist for Newsweek magazine. And again, remember, this is 2004 when Kerry was in office, and this guy just admits what's going on. And I quote, the media, I think, wants Kerry to win. Oh, shock. And I think they're going to portray Kerry and Edwards. I'm talking about the establishment media, not Fox. Not anymore. Fox is pretty mainstream media now. Anyway, but they are going to portray, they're going to portray Kerry and Edwards as the young and dynamic and optimistic and all this stuff. There's going to be this glow about them this summer, and that is going to be worth a collective glow. The two of them, that's going to be maybe around 15 points. So the Democrats knew back then that that media bias is good for about 15 points. So if you take off 15 points of Biden's 40, you get a nice round 25 figure, which is probably more accurate. Because again, you got Democrats are lunatics and will vote for anyone no matter what's going on, as long as they got the D next to them. Just look at Chicago, New York. They keep voting for the same party, even though California, even though they're destroying everything around them. So again, lost. They are lost. So I believe the 40% is much lower, and I bet you agree for the most part. Biden's approval on the management of key issues is weak across the board. The economy, stimulating jobs, fighting terrorism. Let's see where he pops 50. Okay, reacting to COVID. He gets a 52%, even though when he was in office, more people died of COVID than when Trump was in office. But you know what happened? CNN stopped that death ticker when Biden got in office, showing how many people died of COVID and whatever else they could throw under COVID. Those numbers went away when Biden got in office, and the numbers kept going up. But again, you didn't see it. So the perception was that things were getting better under Biden, even though he didn't really do anything to make that happen. Okay, GOP approval is slightly down to 47% this month. And in my opinion, unless they start indicting people, it's going to continue to go down. What would help it is an indictment or two, or an indictment recommendation, because they only run Congress. They can't really indict anyone. But they need to impeach a couple of people, and not just the president either. So unless the GOP actually does something, those numbers are probably going to drop a little. Dem Party approval is tied with the GOP at 47%. Yeah, not surprised. Congressional approval ticks up slightly to 36%. Now, that's kind of surprising because congressional approval's always been in the toilet. But I think what's changing is Speaker McCarthy, after he got his butt kicked and had to run for speakership, or whatever the position speaker, 15 times at 15 elections, and they made home do work for that position. So maybe he just really, really appreciates the fact that he's Speaker of the House. But I think he's doing not a bad job. He's doing actually surprisingly a better job than I expected. When they're in budget negotiations with Biden right now, even though they're not really negotiating with Biden, it's down at a wire. Biden's brain is dead, so his brain ain't working. So he can't really negotiate anything. I think they just don't want to expose the fact that Biden can't negotiate anything other than nuts and sprinkles on his ice cream. In the meantime, McCarthy is the only one that's out there talking about the budget and saying how important it is to avoid, not paying the bills, to extend the credit of the United States, and so they can keep spending money that they ain't got. But Biden doesn't want that, so blah, blah, blah. But anyway, my point is, at least McCarthy's out there. He's actually speaking. He looks like a leader, especially compared to Biden, who's hiding. Anyway, Musk, this is amazing. Musk, Trump, and DeSantis, the most favorable political figures. I mean, Trump has how many indictments? I think 1 or 2 at least. And he's polling higher than Joe Biden. That should scare the crap out of Joe Biden. I don't know how Elon Musk is a political figure, but, go figure. Let's see, they got Putin down here too. This is also amazing. Amazon, Google, and the military are the most favorable institutions. Amazon, really? Google? Wow. That's kind of the FBI. Well, the FBI just is neck and neck with the Ukraine, so that kind of makes sense to me. Supreme Court should be higher. I think it's doing a decent job. NATO, CNN. This is just all insanity to me. TikTok is on there. Oh, so this is very interesting. The most important issues facing the country remains inflation, but immigration and national debt showed an increased concern this month, and it should. Now, I'm looking at this, the things that people think are most important, and you know what's missing? I'm going through the list. It's pretty big, but I noticed this is missing.
To single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
This is the worst graduation of my life.
And that sums it up right there. Yeah, I don't see white supremacy on this list. It's just not there. I think Biden's kind of making it up. The 12 people who subscribe to Stormfront.com do not make a giant terrorist threat at all. Anyway, so the primaries, 2024 horse race. Okay. So Trump is a clear favorite in a prospective GOP primary and continues to gain ground on DeSantis. DeSantis, man, he's way down. Trump is up 3 points. DeSantis is down 4. I think DeSantis is going to need at least 2 or 3 indictments to close that gap. Everyone else is way down the list. Nikki Haley, it's a joke. I'm glad to see Vivek Ramaswamy on the list, because actually, a young guy, he has some great ideas. I would not mind seeing him as a VP pick at all. So that's my opinion on that. Trump handily beats all challengers in a hypothetical primary matchup. He smoked 17 Republicans last time he ran, including Jeb, the Walking Dead Bush. Thank God. It's one of the best things he did, in my opinion. He just ended the Bush dynasty and the Clinton dynasty, too. I don't like family dynasties. I don't think after Trump, either he makes his last run, whether he wins or not. I don't think any of his kids should run. Again, I'm not into the political dynasty crap. Voters and Republicans believe DeSantis is ready to give Trump a real challenge, and I hope so. I don't want to see Trump just walk in through the primary. I want to see him challenged. Whether he wins or loses, it's better for the country that we have a debate of ideas within the parties, outside of the parties. It's a healthy thing to do. Should not avoid debate. More stuff. Okay, now this was interesting. In the Democratic primary, Biden is the favorite, and consolidating behind him, Harris is the runner-up. So look, we got Biden. Yep, he's up 4 points. Harris, Stacey Abrams. Look, they got people on this list who haven't even shown any interest in running. AOC. Andrew Cuomo, his COVID policies ended up ending the lives of more New Yorkers than Bin Laden, but he's got 1%. Now, this is interesting. Don't Know got 8%. Someone else got 2%. You know who's not on the list, amazingly? RFK. Robert Kennedy Jr., who's polling in the double digits, is being ignored by this poll, and I wonder why. Is it that the Democrats are trying to control who the Democrats can vote for? Yeah, I think so. They don't want to give another Kennedy another shot. Maybe there's poor choice of words. Okay, they don't want to give another Kennedy another chance at running and getting in office, because maybe they have a problem controlling the Kennedys like they have a problem controlling the Trumps. So that is my opinion on that. Voters are split over whether they think Trump will win another GOP. He's going to win. If he's in it, he's going to win. They'll have to indict him harder to make him not win at least the primaries. Don't know about the general. I hope so, but you never know, because he's going to have to overcome the FBI, the CIA, IRS, DOJ, and name any other 3-letter agency out there. They're all going to be interfering with the 2024 election, guaranteed, because nothing has stopped them. They haven't had any punishment. They haven't lost anything for interfering with the 2016, the 2020. 2024 is going to be the same thing. Just got to get out there and vote and make it almost impossible for them to cheat and win. Let's see. Trump wins hypothetical general election horse race against Biden by 7 points and against Harris by 11. No surprise there. Harris is a really, forget Biden. Biden's not even alive. Harris, she's a really bad candidate. She's not a good politician at all. Not that I really care for politicians, but she's not even good at being a human. She does not come across as genuine whatsoever. She laughs awkwardly at awkward times. She's just a terrible candidate. And I'm not surprised that Trump would trounce her by 11 points. Let's see. That's pretty, yeah, Nikki Haley, who cares? The last part, I'll get to real quick. The news mix, which is interesting, kind of, that Fox News is still on the list and people still watch Fox. I think that number's going to drop quite a bit. Especially after the Tucker thing. So even though it says they still dominate, that was in May, so these numbers are really before Tucker hit. I think this is going to be replaced with Newsmax. Fox is going to be replaced by Newsmax. Anyway, last part. Durham report. Shock. The Durham report didn't tell anyone anything new. We knew the FBI was acting more like the enforcement arm of the establishment, mostly leftists, mostly the Democrats. That's not a surprise. Here's what's surprising is half of voters have not heard about the Durham report. And I guess the ones who heard it are split on whether it's fair and balanced. Now that is surprising, but not nearly as surprising as this.
Deputy Assistant Director for the FBI's Counterintelligence Division, are you familiar with this report?
I have not read that report, sir.
You have not read the Durham report.
I have not yet read the Durham report, no, sir.
I'm honestly speechless at this point in time.
Me too. That is the second in charge of the FBI. She has not read the Durham report. Probably not surprising because plausible deniability. You don't have to defend it if you haven't read it. She doesn't have to. She could pretend she doesn't realize that the FBI has been busted, that has been interfering with elections, and it's been almost doing like a soft coup. So she could play like she has no idea what's going on, and she does. She's no better than Peter Strzok, in my opinion. She's just probably a little cuter, but yeah. Anyway, but there's really no difference between her and the person she replaced. Not sure what to say about that beyond that. This is all my opinion. What's yours? Like, share, comment, and subscribe.